Yo, y'all know who it is. It's AntDaGamer, aka AntDaGamer, and today we got another special edition of WWE 2K19 Let's Talk. You guys know I've been trying to make that comeback, and I had to come back big, and I had to hit y'all with something very special, and that's why I got for you guys here today, the guy behind the WWE 2K19 MyCareer, AJ Kirsch. Did I pronounce your name right there?
Yeah, man, you got it. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
How you doing? I hope you like that intro.
I did. Well done. Well done.
Because you know about rocking promos, do you not? Because you spent some time.
I know a thing or two about rocking the promo. Yes, indeed.
Would you say you're a champion when it comes to that?
I wouldn't say so. My buddy DJ might tell you that. Yeah, he might say that.
DJ,
but.
Alright, so we're here. We're going to be talking WWE 2K19 and, you know, just gaming. So you're a gamer at heart, right? And you play a lot of games. Can you tell me something maybe you played as of lately? I know you're a busy man. I know how that can be, but is there something you played as of late?
Yeah, man. I don't play as many video games as I would like to, or I just don't have the time to do it anymore. You know, it's nice being busy, but at the same time, you just don't have that downtime that you may have had at a different point in your life. So, really, the only franchise that I refuse to miss out on nowadays is The Legend of Zelda. I've been playing that for as long as I can remember. Super Nintendo was my first console, like way back in like '93, I think it came out. And Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past had me hooked. Obviously, Ocarina of Time was amazing, and just following the franchise up until this point to what I think is my favorite video game experience ever with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've beaten it months ago, but I won't even, I just like picking it up and just roaming around Hyrule. It's huge, it's beautiful, it is an absolute blast to this very day.
You know what? I've heard a lot of things about it. I'm more familiar with the earlier Legend of Zeldas. I haven't got a chance to play any of the games on the Switch, but I'm thinking about going there very soon. But it's very
good. Yeah, if you get the chance, I can't recommend it enough. I literally only got the Switch for Breath of the Wild, and completely worth it. Completely worth it.
It's funny you mention that because I know Broseph, Joe Brody. If I'm correct, you had a problem with Link, did you not?
Broseph has crossed paths with Link on a few occasions. One of them happened to be in the ring at Hood Slam a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And it got physical, it got heated, but that's wrestling. That's just part of wrestling. Is you go out there and you leave it all in the center of the ring, and sometimes it's Broseph versus Link, and I do believe on that night Link got the better of me. But it's hard to combat courage, wisdom, and power with Axe body spray and Nickelback. So it's an uphill battle in itself.
Exactly. Uphill battles. But there is some respect. You do have respect for him as far as his legend, but just some things you just don't agree with when it comes to Link.
Right, and that's cool. Like, we're allowed to have different opinions and be different people, but nothing but the utmost respect for the hero of Hyrule.
Okay, so we're gonna shoot the WWE 2K19 now, and we're talking about uphill battles. And in WWE 2K19 MyCareer, there's an uphill battle in that as well. Can you tell us a little bit about the uphill battle that we'll face in WWE 2K19's MyCareer?
Yeah, well, for those who don't know, I am the voice of MyPlayer in WWE 2K19, which, depending on when this actually airs, we're recording this on Thursday, October the 4th, so it comes out tomorrow if you pre-ordered the Deluxe Edition or the Woo Edition. Okay. Tuesday, October the 9th, worldwide if you haven't pre-ordered. But anyway, I'm the voice of the character. So when you create a superstar and play through the MyCareer mode, it's going to be the voice that you're hearing right now, voicing your character in the cutscenes, cutting the promos. I also do all the motion capture for the cutscenes for the character. So the uphill battle starts for the first time ever in the WWE video game, starts on the independent. You start at this independent wrestling company called BCW, which is run by Baron Blade. So I have to imagine that the B stands for either Baron or Blade Championship Wrestling. Baron Blade's a returning character, so there's a little bit of additional depth if you're familiar with the 2K franchise. And it just chronicles your journey from independent wrestler to getting a contract with NXT, to working your way up to the main roster, and of course, eventually working your way to WrestleMania. I don't know, nobody can see me right now, but I'm pointing, which you always have to point when you start talking about making your way to WrestleMania. Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's
you got to do that.
Right. Just off into the distance. I'm just pointing at the corner of my room right now, like I'm pointing a million miles away.
Okay. So, voice acting this year, you also did mocapping, or was it just voice acting this year?
It was voice acting and mocap, and actually most of the scenes shot at the exact same time. So as we are physically performing the progress of the scenes, as we're going through the scenes physically, there's also a mic on the headgear that we're all wearing that's just a couple inches away from our mouth. So, we're doing the voiceovers as we're doing the motion capture because they want to make sure that the scene comes off as authentically as possible. They did bring me back a couple times for some pickup lines, which are not hard per se, but it does present some additional challenges when you're trying to match your dialogue to the video of what you did physically back during principal photography. So they tried to get it all at once. I'd probably say they got 95% of what they needed in the first round of shooting, and then they brought me back for some things that they either wanted an alternate take, or they didn't get the emotion in the line that they wanted, or for whatever reason.
Okay, so now I'm about to take it to you. What was the worst moment you had, while you were recording lines of mocapping? Did you fall on your face or anything? I want to hear about that.
Well, nobody's perfect. There's I flubbed a couple lines here and there, as actors, do. I don't know if anybody's ever filmed a movie or a project that they didn't flub a single line. If they did, I'd love to hear about it. In fact, if you know that there is one, tweet me at AJ Kirsch, which is at AJKIRSCH on Instagram and Twitter. And then also we talked about Broseph earlier. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at bro, the letter J, Brody. That's bro J Brody. See, everybody saves their socials to the end. I'm like, I got to get it in there in the beginning.
Yeah, go ahead and get it in there. Get it in.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the most embarrassing for me was there was a line with me and Charlotte. Charlotte wasn't there at the time, but there was a line between me and Charlotte where I do a Ric Flair woo. And in practice, the line is supposed to be botched. Like, it's supposed to be a horrible, just really bad woo. Just like, oh God, like get out of here.
Yeah.
And in rehearsal, it went great. Like, it was a great botch. It was exactly what the director was looking for. And then I just couldn't do it the same way when it came time to roll camera for whatever reason. It was just off a little bit. So it bothered me that I could do it in rehearsal when we're just like kind of BSing before the scene actually filmed. And then when it's time to film, I'm just kind of like, I couldn't do it the same way. So that was, but the grand scheme of things, for that to be the worst thing to happen on this shoot, I think, it was a fantastic experience. Everybody I worked with was a true pro. Everybody at 2K was amazing. And I have nothing but glowing reviews for everybody involved with the entire process.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great because everything I've seen so far from the trailers and things, I mean, we're about 5 hours away right now, on my side of things before it come out. Yeah, it's launch night, people, as we do this. Well, the prelude to launch night. And I mean, you know, those type of things happen. You know, when I started this interview right now, I messed up my intro, you know, but I do it in one take. And I tell people all the time, I do it in one take. I mean, those things happen, you know. Sometimes you shoot your lines the right way and sometimes you don't. It's just the way it is. Sometimes you do it even better than what you normally do. But,
right.
You know, it happens.
Well, if you messed up, I didn't notice. So the only thing that's important is if the crowd notices or not. If they can't see you sweat, you're not sweating.
So, out of the mocap moves in WWE 2K19, is there any one in particular that you really are proud of that you've seen in action? Have you seen any of them in action yourself and you're like, wow, that looks real smooth?
Well, I didn't do the in-ring motion capture.
Okay.
I did the motion capture for the dramatic scenes. Let's see. I got to pick my words carefully here. I can't tell you who was doing the in-ring motion capture for all the moves and
okay.
the physicality.
All right.
But if you were to take the top 5 from like any of the quote-unquote underneath organizations, and I mean that as in underneath WWE, like if you kind of like look at an Impact roster or look at a Lucha Underground roster or a Ring of Honor roster, and you pick out 5, 6 of the top most talented performers on those rosters, there's a good chance you're going to pick at least 1 or 2 who were part of the motion capture process. That is as specific as I can get. So,
wow.
Yeah, let the speculation begin. But
I was just wondering about the moves most of all, but that insight you just gave me was pretty good, so I appreciate it. But
of course,
hearing that lets me know that the moves that we could see some lucha in there, all types of moves that we probably gonna see just going through MyCareer.
Correct. Yes, you will. And to be quite honest, you know, I haven't played the game. I have it. I just haven't had the time to sit down and actually dive into it. 2K Games was very generous in giving me a copy of the Woo edition with all the cool Ric Flair stuff. In fact,
I watched the video earlier
another chance.
Today. I was trying to get those
that's right.
card codes.
The unboxing. There's an unboxing video that I did on my YouTube channel that I shot at 2K. So if you want to see what's in store for you, if you get the Woo edition, you can do that. I think you just search on YouTube for WWE 2K19 unboxing and it'll pop up. But I still haven't had the chance to dive in and play it just because, you know, I have adulting to do. I'm busy, and that's not to say that it's, you know, there's anything. I mean, I'm an adult. I still play video games. It's just been a whirlwind week, but I am very much looking forward to sitting down and busting open the game.
I understand it. When it comes to games these days, there's time. There's a lot of time and effort that has to go into them, and then when you have life too, it can be as a gamer. Sometimes it's a challenge just battling out the time to be that gamer, you know. So I understand. I understand perfectly because I have so many games myself. And I'm wondering like when I'm gonna play it, and then I'm trying to review this and do this, so it's hard to put it all in. It is.
But when you finally find the time and you can finally sink your teeth into it, man, it's gonna be sweet. So I don't know when it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be sometime this weekend that I actually get to sit down and just be like, all right, here we go.
Okay. So Daniel Bryan is this year's 2K Showcase Superstar. How you feel about that?
I think it's great. I think Daniel Bryan has one of the most amazing, true stories that any WWE superstar has ever had, considering his injury, his comeback, the fact that he has traveled the world for years and years before he even made it to WWE, his trek since he got to WWE, since he was on NXT, back when NXT was a television brand and not, you know, a completely, you know, not WWE's kind of farm territory. He's got an amazing story, and the fact that you get to live it and play it and experience it through WWE 2K19, I think they could not have made a better decision.
Daniel Bryan is amazing. He's an inspiration. He's an inspiration to myself. I've gone through a lot of challenges in life over the past couple years, and when I look at Daniel Bryan, he inspires me to keep going. You know, never, as he say, never give up on his dreams. You know,
right?
And You know, my subscribers know I've had a lot of hiccups, but Daniel Bryan has been an inspiration to me too. To see him come back, that made me want to, you know, continue my, you know, road to my dreams.
Good for you, man. And you know, he is a very inspiring person, and that's what I hear about him, just both in and out of the ring. The guy's just super positive, super inspiring, and you know, the fact that he did get a second chance to live his dream is an amazing story.
What fantasy matchup would you like to see Daniel Bryan have in the future that we could possibly do in WWE 2K19?
Man, first person that comes to mind is I would love to see Daniel Bryan and Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
You know, I mean, if I remember correctly, I think Daniel Bryan actually trained under Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I think he's his protege or something like that. Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, so to be able to, the idea of just Daniel Bryan in his prime, which I'm not sure that he's in his prime right now. You know, he's had to battle back from this injury, but
yeah,
the idea of Daniel Bryan in his prime and Shawn Michaels in his prime, just the magic those two could create in the ring just gives me chills just thinking about it.
I agree. So I have a couple more questions and I'm gonna let you be out. I know you're a busy man, but there's a few questions I want to know.
Fire away, man.
If you had a match with Ric Flair, the man, you know what I'm saying, or Brozef had a match with Ric Flair.
Okay.
I know Charlotte's gonna might be a little upset with you about this, but how would you beat him? Because you know, to beat the man, you gotta beat the man. Everybody wants to beat the man, technically. Respect
everybody
Ric Flair,
wants,
but everybody wants
to be the man.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm stepping into the ring, if Brozef is stepping into the ring against Ric Flair, Brozef is not stepping into that ring to lose. Nobody likes to lose. So, you know, I got to be aware of that figure four. I got to keep him away from my legs. You know, I know he uses that chop block to set up for the figure four. I got to have my head on a swivel so that he can't hit that chop block. You know, I got to catch him when he's on the top rope. He always insists on going to the top rope, and it works
why.
a half % of the time.
Yeah.
So I got to be ready to capitalize, and you know, just, you know, if I get in that figure four, man, I've got to figure something out quick. I got to figure a way to reverse it, to reverse the pressure. I think, yeah, I've got a solid plan. Like,
because if he goes to the top rope, that's your chance to maybe make something happen.
That's it. I mean, and everybody usually catches him and then throws him off. I might switch it up and crotch him, and then take him over with something with a little bit more impact, like a superplex, or, you know, something like that, where it's just like switch it up a little bit. But, you know, I don't think there's a wrestler alive who is not familiar with Ric Flair, which is something of a disadvantage, because if he ever does step foot in the ring again, everybody knows what he does. But at the same time, nobody does it any better than the Nature Boy Ric Flair. As I said in my unboxing video, Stone Cold Steve Austin called Ric Flair the greatest of all time. So whoever your favorite wrestler is, there's a good chance Ric Flair is your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler.
All right, another matchup here. Since we talked about Ric Flair, we're going to talk about his daughter. We're on that Flair drip right now. If you had to face Charlotte and AJ Styles in a mixed match challenge, who would you choose as your tag partner? It could be in the WWE or beyond. Who would you choose as your tag partner that you feel will give you a chance to beat Charlotte and AJ Styles in a mixed match challenge matchup?
Damn, WWE or beyond?
Making you think, ain't I?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that complicates things a little bit.
I mean, you could go outside of WWE, you know. You could bring in Io Shirai from, you know, the Mae Young Classic and Stardom if you wanted. So, sure.
Shayna Baszler.
I kind of agree. I think that's the one that the fans probably want to see too.
Yeah, and you know, she is a legit badass. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to get in a fight with anybody on the NXT or WWE roster, but on that list of people that I would least want to get into a fight with, she is up at the top of that list. Like,
she's just
I would
fierce.
not. She is fierce. She seems like she's unstoppable. And for the sake of the fans, like, obviously being named AJ in real life, I've always thought about stepping in the ring with AJ Styles. And I think the fans would kill to see Charlotte and Shayna.
Yep. Hey, I that's a good match. WWE, you need to book that. We need to get
Yeah, you guys listening?
Yeah, we need to get this man down in NXT or somewhere to make this happen as soon as possible. You know? Would you be, I'm sure you probably would be. You would be open for that, wouldn't you? Maybe going to the Performance Center, NXT, or anywhere. They would give you the call. You would love to do that, wouldn't you?
Oh, open to it? Are you kidding me? I'd love the chance to discuss it. You know, I think it was on Tough Enough that I realized my contributions to sports entertainment are more valuable behind a microphone than they are in the ring. So if they wanted to bring me in as full-time in-ring talent, that's something that I would have to think about. But if they wanted to bring me in as a host, ring announcer, commentator, or ideally a mouthpiece, of which there are very, very few nowadays, I'd be all over it.
It's just you know, being a part of what you love. And it's funny bringing up another 2K game that I was playing the other night, and the MyCareer in that game. And one of the things about the MyCareer in that game was just about he was trying so hard to be in the NBA, but he wasn't taking the time really to just love the moment and the fact that he was doing stuff still that was connected with what he loved, which is basketball. And right now you're doing things connected to what you love, which is wrestling, and it shows, you know. And I have a lot of respect for you, and I love what you've been doing on Twitter and everything, and I appreciate you taking the time out with me today, because I'm not like the biggest channel, but I have a big mouthpiece, and I have a pretty good wrestling and gaming following. So
yeah,
to see you do that, you know, and for 2K to allow you to do that, like I told everyone on Twitter, and I want to tell you right now, I do appreciate it, and I wish you the best with this and WWE, whatever you desire. I know you do a little acting, whatever you desire, man. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
I wish you the best.
Well, I really appreciate that, man. And you know, I grew up a video gamer. I grew up a wrestling fan. It was during a time when there was no social media. So I recognize, like, I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of wrestling. I'm still a fan of video games. And if I was a kid back then and there was social media and the voice of the WWE video game, you know, liked a tweet or responded to me or something, I would, you know, I'd be shouting it from the rooftops. So I'm trying to keep myself rather in the position of being like, if I were that fan, how could I make every little interaction as memorable as possible? And so to be in the position I'm in, I'm extremely grateful to 2K Games, to WWE, and to the fans, to the WWE universe, because the outpouring of support with the early trailers and the improvements over last year has been amazing. Obviously, the game drops, as you and I are recording this, the game drops tomorrow if you've got the Deluxe or the Woo editions of the game. So I can't wait to see the full-blown response. But again, I'm just thankful to be in the position I'm in, thankful for your kind words, and very, very grateful to be on your show today.
All right, thanks, man. Yo, guys, and that's it for that. WWE 2K19 is out in a few hours right now where I'm in the US. Comes out early for those who get that deluxe edition. Remember, collector's edition to that Woo edition. I'm gonna leave you guys some links and everything so you can check out AJ's video unboxing the Woo edition, as well as on my website. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next show, next video. I'm out of here. Peace.